All right, everyone. Good morning. I'm just going to catch my breath because if you were like me, I was dancing a little. Hopefully you are ready to enjoy a beautiful day. Well, hello, everyone. This is Darlene Schluter from Special Events and Protocol. And on behalf of the Events Council and my co-chair, Adrienne McCraw, we welcome you today to our second webinar. Today's webinar will focus on exploring creativity. Before we get started, I want to let you know that we disabled the chat feature, but you can still utilize the Q&A option found at the bottom of your screen. We will do our best to monitor questions and answer accordingly. We will also have time for additional questions and answers at the end of the webinar. One last thing to note before we get started, we want to let you all know that we'll be sure to upload this webinar to our Events Council website found on Blink. I'm going to briefly go over the agenda and tell you how this webinar is going to flow and some of the things we plan to highlight. Again, I'm Darlene, and I will serve as your moderator. Kimberly will kick us off with some interactive Mentimeter questions. Next, Liz and Adrienne will share ideas on how to stay creative and inspired during these times. And Adam will wrap us up with some assessment fun. Finally, we will then allow time for Q&A. All right, Kimberly, take it away.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Darlene. My name is Kimberly Epperson. I'm one of the event specialists in Special Events and Protocol. Today, I'm going to be talking about some creative and fun event technology. Now more than ever, we have seen the benefits of using various tools to enable audiences to interact during an event, whether it be live or virtual. I'm going to spend some time talking about a few audience engagement tools that have become a great way to help event organizers provide the best experience for their attendees. These tools can bring your event to life with debate, opinion, sharing, and fun. Audience engagement tools do not require a large investment on hardware, as the attendees already have the technology required in their bags and pockets in the form of their smartphones and tablets. It also allows for the audience to submit their comments, feedback, and answers anonymously, which is another great way for those who might not usually speak to do so. Platforms like Kahoot, Poll Everywhere, Slido, and Mentimeter are great audience engagement tools. Kahoot is a fun and easy online game platform to create, share, and play learning games or trivia quizzes. It's a great way to get your attendees to break up into teams or play individually. Poll Everywhere is a live polling platform which is great for classes, meetings, and events. Slido can be integrated with various platforms like Google Slides so that you can add a live Q&A, poll, or question to your presentation. Lastly, Mentimeter is one that I really enjoy using and has similar features to the ones I have mentioned. I will be talking a little bit more in depth about this platform on the next few slides, and we will also be using this platform throughout our presentation today. So before I jump into the details about Mentimeter, we're going to launch one of our first audience engagement questions. So if everyone can follow the instructions on the screen, get those smartphones out, go to www.menti.com and enter the code that you see on the screen. And I will be launching the first question here. All right, hopefully you all can see this slide. So how do you feel about event technology? And again, the code is 95354. And then we'll give everyone a few minutes to input their questions. So either you feel like Rachel and Phoebe here, you love it, bring on the artificial intelligence and virtual reality, take it or leave it, or the last one makes me a little bit nervous. And something that's really cool that I wanted to point out is on the bottom right, you'll see this icon of a person. You can see this number is we've had 31 people submit answers. So that's another cool thing about Mentimeter, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that. And then also, when you're creating your Menti slides, you can choose to remove this instructions bar, or you can leave it up so people can reference the code. All right, just a few more minutes, or a few more moments here. Looks like so far everyone's loving it. Good to hear. It's making some people a little nervous. I think that number is rising a little bit. All right, so this is a fun way where I was able to add in GIFs and make this slide a little bit of fun. So thank you everyone for participating. So moving on here, why Menti? So like I mentioned, that was just one example, how to create a fun question to get your audience to participate during your presentation. We will be having a few more of those interactive questions to break up the presentation, and you'll all have an opportunity to submit your answers and we can hear from you. And then it's also a fun template Menti has to offer. So there are various platforms to choose from to engage your audience. As mentioned, some might be better for a classroom setting, meetings, or team interactions. But after doing a little research on these platforms, I found that Menti offers a large variety of templates and formats to build interactive presentations. You can customize your Menti slides to allow for creativity or to keep within your department and the university's branding guidelines. You can also import PowerPoint, Google Slides, and PDFs directly into Menti for a seamless presentation. From there, you can move slides around to insert your Menti polls and questions. And lastly, you can get insights on participants and with trends and data to export after your presentation and share the results with your team. So these are a few templates found on Menti. The popular question types are multiple choice, word cloud, open-ended, polling, and quiz. One thing I have noticed is that Menti does not allow you to edit your imported presentation slides, so I would recommend that you import slides once finalized, or another option is to create content slides directly into Menti versus importing. And they offer a few different templates for content slides here, like heading, paragraph, image, and you can also add a video into those content slides. The packages, currently UC San Diego is reviewing various platforms recommended for use. Mentimeter is one of the platforms still under review. Other platforms under review can be found on Blink, which we will include in the chat for reference, or we'll add the link in the chat. And then most audience engagement platforms offer a 2-week trial period for a pro account, which is great for testing the program before buying. Menti offers an education package, which is charged annually and is about $15 a month. You get unlimited access and allows you to fully customize your Menti presentation with branding and logo types. We will also include more info on Menti and their education packages by a link in the chat. So this concludes my portion of the presentation, and I'm going to kick it off to my colleague, Adrienne McCraw, who will be speaking about how to keep our creative juices flowing through social inspiration.
Thank you, Kimberly. Hi, everyone. I miss you all so terribly. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. By now, I'm sure we are all feeling the changes and how things are so weird and different these days. I'm sure it's safe to say we're all missing some of the most precious parts of our jobs and trying to find ways to stay relevant and ahead of the changing times. But for me, I'm sure, and for you, it's hard for some of us. It's especially hard because there's not a physical event in our immediate future. We can't sample the tray past appetizers before the event, feel the actual weight of the linens before throwing them over the belly bars, or simply smell the bright floral centerpieces while placing them on the beautiful tables we just created. It's just not the same. Personally, one of my favorite parts of event planning is coming up with the design or the idea of the event. You know, scouring Instagram, Pinterest, Google Images during meetings, and getting that necessary instant inspiration from that idea that just popped up in your head and trying to document that somehow. And that's something I'm really missing right now. I don't feel that. But under these trying times, we can still be inspired in many ways. So we hope that this webinar gives you some fun ideas on how to stay creative and inspired for virtual events. Yes, I know social media is an obvious method to find inspiration, and it's not new or upcoming. But most of you are probably on your phones right now, scrolling through something during this webinar. It's totally cool. I get it. It's called multitasking. We simply thought it would be fun to share some of the inspiring people or groups that we follow. See, I tend to find that word of mouth is the best way to discover new people, groups, companies, blogs, etc. for inspirations. So, and sometimes the not so obvious are the best inspiration, and other times it's exactly what we're looking for. So here are just a few of the people that we follow on primarily Instagram that kind of give us some artistic or innovative or exciting ideas. So for instance, Party Slate is fun. Don't worry, all of this is going to be on our Events Council Blink website, so you don't have to speed scribble or anything. But Party Slate is an event planning website, and they have a ton of awesome photos. Apartment Therapy is an awesome blog about home design, and I absolutely love this. Southern House Events is a local wedding planner. Green Florals is, most of you might know Green Fresh Florals. They were one of our vendor hosts at one of our events last year, and we work with them a lot. And they also have a very chic store in Hillcrest, Event Marketer. It's an experiential marketer and event agency. And then just a couple of the hashtags there, floral design and tablescapes. So like I said, word of mouth is a great way to discover new creative outlets to follow, and we would love to see who inspires you. So let's jazz this party up and do another Menti poll. We want to know who you follow and who inspires you. So get your phone out again. Go ahead and go to menti.com. If you are new and just joined us, this is another poll that we're doing. And type in the code that's at the top of the screen. That's 95354. Again, that's menti, menti.com, 95354. And let us know who inspires you. Now, just a little note, Menti cannot register symbols. So leave out the hashtag or the @ sign. And then we'll go ahead and just give you a couple minutes to look them up if you need. And then once you guys start inputting that, they're all gonna kind of pop up here on the screen. So we'll just give you a couple minutes. Don't be shy. This is the best. We love hearing and seeing who you guys follow. Biz Bash, love it. Oh, you don't follow me. Stop it. Marie Kondo, yes, let's keep it simple, people. Bright Event Rentals, that's perfect. Creative Mornings, yes, they have a great one tomorrow. You guys don't know Creative Mornings, you should check it out. They went virtual. And they're doing some really good virtual ideas lately. 1540 Productions. Ooh, that's a good one. I'll have to follow that. Mindy Weiss, yes. Was that Angela? Martha Stewart, yes. HGTV. Ooh, that's a good one. Good, keep them up, guys. Come on, let's see some more. This is great. And just so you guys know, Menti is able to pull reports. So all of these polls that we will be doing today, we will also be putting on our Events Council website. So you'll be able to see what all the polls and all the results from the polls on Menti. This is great. 15 people. Thank you, everyone. Give you guys a couple more minutes. And as Kimberly mentioned, there's different templates. So this is just one of the fun word clouds, I think is the right term. I keep saying word smush, but I like word smush. So I'm going to keep it at word smush. Oh, this is fun. This is great. Thank you, everyone. Sometimes it goes, oh, Native Poppy. Yes, that's one of our top favorite vendors. Wild Island Collective. That sounds like fun. Virtual Event Ideas, Facebook. Shift Creative. Don't follow me. You guys are silly. I only have pictures of my dog. Lego. Bobby Burke. Wild Time. All right, that's great, you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for participating. I hope you got some inspiration there. So, like we're saying, there's many other ways to be creative, but how do we implement this creativity in our new virtual world? Liz Bradshaw from SEP is going to give you some more ideas on what you should keep in mind when planning and being creative in this now virtual realm. Liz, take it away.
Thank you, Adrienne. Time to get off Instagram for me. But it's really fun to see some different handles there that I hadn't thought to follow, so I'll definitely be giving those a try later. So my name is Liz Bradshaw, and I'm an event specialist with Special Events and Protocol. And we know that being at home with the future being uncertain definitely has its challenges, but it's also a fantastic opportunity to take some time to evaluate your event content, look at your goals, think outside the physical event venue and see how you can enhance some event elements that you're likely already using, but that can have an even stronger impact when executing your message virtually. I think it's a really great time to look at if what you've always done is the right way to move forward. And there are so many places we can look to for inspiration. So in the spirit of high fidelity, if there are any other fans out there, we put together a list of 5 areas that we can look to spark creativity. We're going to take you on a quick journey through where we're finding inspiration in the realms of storytelling, a physical thing, and how you can incorporate that into your event, using talent, the branding and the virtual event design. And as a very special treat, we're going to be hearing from some of our colleagues on campus. So kicking this off with storytelling, I think you'll all agree that storytelling is a tool where physical attendance is not a barrier to success in communicating the event goal and message in a very experiential way. It's a really an essential, easy way to entertain, inspire, and educate throughout your event. And you'll see here that we featured an image from the Storyteller at Founders Dinner 2018, an event produced by Advancement Signature Events in Donor Experience and Engagement. And a wonderful example. So while the use of storytelling in events can be in its most literal sense, just like the image you just saw, there are so many options for delivering your story, and all of these will work if you're taking your event online. You can feature speakers who can also be your storytellers. It can be a fly-through video that works nicely if you have a building groundbreaking or something that you're doing. We featured this here. This was actually the groundbreaking for the design and innovation video. We kicked off the program with this video and really transported the attendees into the realm of being on the future of campus. You could use a slideshow. It could be a VR experience if you have a great budget and somebody with excellent technical expertise. It can be a piece of music, or it could be hired talent. You can feature these elements pre-recorded or live. They can be audio, they can be visual, they can be both. And I think the nice thing about all of your storytelling elements that you're going to weave into your event is that they're not all mutually exclusive. They play really, really well together. We may not always have the biggest budgets on campus, but what we are is extremely fortunate to have a pool of very knowledgeable and passionate leadership, faculty, staff, students, and alumni, many of whom may already have a connection and investment in your event, not to mention the world-class theatre and dance department we've got in-house. So if you have an idea but no script, try reaching out to your marketing department or development officer to discuss the ideas and how you can develop your story. The person in the image on this screen is Eric Mumm. He's a student due to graduate this year who is very heavily involved in one of the groups that will be taking up residence also in the Design and Innovation building. He brought first-hand student experience and great storytelling to how the project is having a direct impact on his life. So for storytelling ideas and inspirations, we're going to list a number of different places that I really enjoy to go to for inspiration in the chat feature. But recently I did hear a story on NPR, and that's where this quote comes from. I think it's just a really nice, it wraps up what we're saying about storytelling in a really nice way. And then some of the links that I wanted to give a shout out to that were on campus and fun places to find storytelling in different forms as a way of information is Geisel Library upcoming has their Tales from the Mothership event. They're taking it virtual. And this is a very literal storytelling event. I'm so very excited to see that. So please check that out. And then iCafe, I did see Debbie Gianni was joining us today. They've taken their event virtual and inviting all students, staff, and faculty to contribute recipes, stories, photos, and experiences that will be posted on the Facebook page. And they're crowdsourcing wonderful content from everybody if they want to get involved. So you can see all the links for that. So just a really nice way of how you can weave storytelling through very different methods into your events. So moving on to our next topic. We have a physical thing. So just because you're hosting your event virtually doesn't mean that you can't still use that physical thing to help your audience members feel connected to your event. Do you have something that's a very integral part of your event, and can you get it to your audience? Will it make a difference to your virtual event? Perhaps it's an award, maybe it's an event t-shirt, perhaps it's a small event that the participants of your event can wear. And they can post photos online and really stay connected. Or again, maybe you have a great budget, a technical expert on your team, and you might be sending out some VR goggles. There are some really great examples online right now of people executing their events in this way. And one that really caught our eye was Rockstar Beer Festivals. The San Diego iteration of this festival is actually coming up, I believe, tomorrow. But they have been sending participants of the festival samples of their beer that they would have tasted at the festival. During the event, which will be online tomorrow evening, the festival goers can taste the beer and talk live with the brewer. So it's a really great way of this company, they still get to host their event, the beer companies still get to get their beer out there, and the brewers still get to connect with the audience, and the fans have a great time. This event is coming up on Friday, like I said, and I've already seen people on social media posting pictures of their beer as they get ready to participate. So you can check out the link for that in the doc. Moving on to one of our favorites, talent. I don't know if you've got the budget for a Beyonce event. If you do, congratulations. That would be excellent for everybody, I'm sure. But if it aligns with your goals, then using talent at your event is still a really, really great way to encourage attendance, tell the story, engage the audience, and achieve the goal. This year at the Academic Events Professionals Conference, which happened just before as the coronavirus outbreak was taking place, we all went to check out the conference. It happened in Vegas this year. And if you haven't been before, the Academic Events Professionals Conference is a really excellent source of inspiration in itself. Something that really caught my eye was the University of Arizona. They led an engaging session entitled Using Rockstar Faculty to Create Unforgettable Community and Development Events. The way they broke the talent down into 3 buckets was really inspiring to me as a way to think about how you're putting your talent roster together for an event. The buckets you can see here are celebrity, which I think is fairly self-explanatory, someone that has a massive media presence, someone that has known name recognition with your target audience, a genius with an extraordinary contribution to the field in which you're presenting your event about, and then the influencer, somebody who's a great self-promoter, all about the opportunity. They love saying yes and are very happy to be featured in videos, news, etc. They're probably the ones that are really going to help you promote the event if that's something that you have needed. And it's a nice way to involve young up-and-comers. What I really like about thinking about these buckets is, again, the buckets are not mutually exclusive, and we have a great resources on our campus for all of these. We have a plethora of geniuses who are also celebrities in their field. So it's really, we're in a really exciting spot for that. And I know that I get excited when I can check all 3 of them off the list. Moving on to the next slide, I wanted to show a little picture of everybody's favorite musician, Nathan East, treating us to his wonderful music with his son recently on Instagram. The reason I picked this picture of Nathan is that I feel like he's a really great example of somebody who's a talented performer, an expert, a celebrity, and a genius in his field, and an alum all rolled into one. So if you're feeling the need for some fresh ideas for talent, try reaching out to alumni and the University Events Office, who can likely help you find a really good fit. Next up, we have digital content. I hope that you're all enjoying all of the celebrities and their visual content online currently. I know I certainly am, and I wanted to feature one of them here. Some good news. You've likely seen it with John Krasinski and his very elaborate set that he has. Wonderful use of logo, event branding, and it's extremely high tech. So I think now's a really good time to think about upping your design game and solidifying the identity of your event and program in your with your audience. I think it's really important for us to remember that we would like to still keep creating the level of event that people expect in person. So as everyone's glued to the screen, maybe have a think about what you already have in your toolkit. Just moving on to the next slide. So you likely already have some pieces that you can use when you're taking your event online. These can be as simple as your event logo or event lockup or your department logo. Maybe you already have a designed or branded background. If you don't have one already and you don't have access to something, then I know there are some available online on the branding website for UCSD from Creative Services, and I believe Geisel Library have also put some out there recently. Do you have any video content that you could already use? Perhaps you have some apparel, or your presenters have apparel which is branded, which they could wear during a presentation for an event. I wanted to call out ideas for identification. We did get asked a question earlier this week in special events about how you could take your name tags virtual. So we've listed some ideas here. If you have a presenter, perhaps you could use the lower third to include the name and title for a speaker. A platform like Vimeo will offer this for you. You could create a slide template for the speaker for them to use as a backdrop during the presentation. And then very simply, you could have their name showing on Zoom, and they could use a virtual slide too. And then one piece that I would also recommend is utilizing your marketing team in-house if you have one, or your department's marketing team to really bounce ideas off them, and maybe they have some things in their toolkit that you could use for your visual event. Great. So in the spirit of keeping the online content for this webinar varied and fresh, for this portion, we wanted to reach out to some of our friends on campus for this and ask them to send us videos and let us know how they're staying creative while they're at home.
My name is Ace Antonio. I'm the Campus Events Manager with the University Events Office and one of the advisors for Associated Students, Concerts, and Events.
Hi, my name is Molly Clark. I'm the Associate Director of Artistic Planning and Education at Art Power at UC San Diego.
Hi, my name is Annika Nelson. I'm the Craft Center Manager with the Housing, Dining, and Hospitality Department.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica Flores, Production Manager for the Department of Music, coming to you from my grandfather's backyard in Claremont, where we overlook the canyon here, and I'm standing on university property, an old opera set from an opera from the Department of Music in 2012. Primarily, my favorite website is medopera.org. I love watching the operas, one different one every night, for live stream for free, or not live stream, but stream for free.
There are some brands doing fantastic work in the virtual realm, so I'm primarily looking to those events. I love concerts and music festivals, so there are brands like Brownies and Lemonade, Insomniac, that are really leveraging their digital presence to create virtual experiences.
I think right now I'm really looking for inspiration with different performing arts colleagues and organizations that I already had respected during, quote, normal times.
With respect to how I'm staying creative, I'm lucky to be able to say that as a part of my day job as the Craft Center manager, which is set to open next year in the North Torrey Pines Living and Learning neighborhood, I'm exercising my creativity every day. I'm dreaming up all sorts of creative offerings, hands-on offerings in ceramics, jewelry, surfboard shaping, woodworking, cooking, that we're going to be able to offer on campus.
Because Art Power curates its own performing arts series every year, we've sort of taken that curation virtual and in providing sort of curated playlists on Spotify and curated video playlists on YouTube of things that we're listening to and watching right now. That are sparking dialogue for us or reminding us of being in the concert hall or whatever it may be.
The recurring content series is, again, this compilation of things to do every week. It's called the Good, Clean, Fun playlist. So it's comprised of trending TV shows, virtual concerts or virtual events, some self-improvement tools. A lot of brands are giving incredible discounts or even things for free because they know that people are staying home. So we're just compiling all that stuff on a week-to-week basis and allowing students to choose based on what they are looking to do.
I'm only a week into this new job, but I'm planning on using social media and maybe UCTV to reach out and develop dialogue with the community, with the creative community.
Of speakers coming next year that are very prominent authors, and so to sort of get people jazzed about that, to do some virtual book clubs leading up to those events that we hope to hold in 2021.
I'm recruiting instructors right now to develop online content, simple projects, craft projects that you can make at home. And then maybe share what you make in a digital gallery of sorts.
We have not held a virtual event yet. We're certainly exploring that. I can't give more details than that, but it'll be along the lines of a streamed Q&A with an influencer or internet celebrity. I don't know if I'm supposed to give like an exit, but yeah, thank you for having me. Okay, stay safe, everyone.
Everybody's doing well. I wish you well, and it's frightening. I actually miss graduate students. What's wrong with me?
Great. Thank you so much to Molly Clark with Art Power, Jessica Flores from the Department of Music, Ace Antonio from the University Events Office, and Anna Kill-Nelson from the brand new Yet to Open Craft Center for all of your inspiring ideas and for taking the time out to really share them with us. We very much appreciate it from Special Events and Protocol. We hope that you all enjoyed listening from them too, and we'll make that a video available on the webinar site as well for you. So when we finished executing all of our great ideas, we'd be amiss if we didn't ask our audience for feedback. And to talk a little bit more about post-event surveys, I'll hand over to Adam McKinney.
Hello all, and thank you, Liz. Congratulations on your future Best Documentary Short win. Don't forget about us when you hit it big. So now that we all are overflowing with creative energy from the first 30 minutes of the webinar here, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to track how well these ideas are resonating with your audience. As we all know, it's important to track engagement and establish clear lines of communication with guests, and it's never been more important given our current virtual world. So a short Google form is a great way to gather quick feedback, but if your needs evolve and you find forms to be a bit lacking, Qualtrics is a great option, and it is free to campus users. So what is it? It's a robust survey tool that allows you to adjust your survey's look and feel, automate communications, and add a layer of insights to your post-survey analysis using customizable reporting options. Getting started is easy. There's a great Blink page to walk you through, and all staff can access Qualtrics immediately via single sign-on, no separate accounts required. So just go ahead and navigate to the Qualtrics Blink page and follow the instructions to get started. Your first survey, not a bad idea to take the time to review the internal training resources page and browse a couple of the on-demand webinars offered by Qualtrics. Links to these pages will be in the chat. So moving on, I'm not going to dive very deep into the actual construction process, but I do want to highlight a few key features that distinguish the tool from other survey tools. So when I'm building a survey, I always make sure to organize using questions, blocks, and page breaks. And then I pick, from a variety of question types to ensure a smooth flow for users. The image over on the left is kind of screen cap of what sorts of question types you have at your disposal, although that's not comprehensive. You can customize questions with logic and quotas, draft confirmation messages that, and this is key, pull from a user's so that the confirmation messages can vary based on what folks have entered during their survey. And then you can configure reports into easily digestible PDFs or export to Excel or Google Sheets for further analysis. So I'm going to wrap up with just a quick use case. I personally use Qualtrics to manage volunteer registration at some of our large signature events, so Triton Day, Commencement, etc. What you're looking at here is a screenshot of the Triton Day volunteer sign-up form for the Triton Day event this year that unfortunately went virtual. And so Qualtrics allows me to add a quota to volunteer shifts, something that Google Forms unfortunately does not allow you to do. Automates the confirmation and reminder process and saves me untold hours of squinting at kind of clunky spreadsheets. You're also looking at the screenshot is of the preview function. So on the left, it'll show you what the survey will look like to folks who open it on desktop. And over on the right, you'll see what folks see who would open your survey on mobile. Super helpful feature, especially given how frequently guests use their phones to open and read emails. Our colleague Leo in Creative Services and Publications let us know that upwards of 70% of the folks that open their official communications via email are doing so via a mobile device. And then incidentally, I want to give a quick plug to Leo, who will be in the chat following our presentation to answer any Qualtrics related questions you may have. He's a campus expert and somebody I leaned on heavily when developing these slides. So with that, thank you all. Look out for the Qualtrics survey that we'll send out after this webinar to gather your feedback. And I will turn it back over to Adrienne McCraw.
Great, thanks Adam. I don't think I have ever been more excited about a survey in my life. It's great to know that Qualtrics is at our fingertips and so easy to use. I actually did do one and I didn't mess it up. So if you were on our webinar last month and you got a survey, just kidding, that wasn't me, that was all Adam. Anyhow, let's go ahead and do one last poll because our polls are so much fun. We want to know, so grab your phones out, go back to menti.com. If you just left it open, that's great. If not, www.menti.com and use the code 95354. And we want to know, how do you celebrate a successful event? What do you do after your hard month or two of working, the event's all done? Celebrate with the team, have a few beers, talk about the day, the goods, the bads. Do you just head home with a bottle of wine and jump in the bath? Or have you strategically planned a vacation to leave the day after your event? Looks like most of you are on to the next one because events never end. We know how that goes. The planning never ends, although it might be a little different today. All right, it's looking good. Celebrating with the team. I like that. We do that too. Rock bottom used to be our go-to, but not anymore. Sad face. Nobody else strategically plans vacations? I know I've done that a few times and it's quite nice. Wine in a bath. Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for participating. So we have plenty of time for questions, about 4 minutes. So we're happy to take your questions in the Q&A feature down at the bottom. We have one from Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. She asks, for year-end award ceremonies, do we have any groups sending out physical awards? Her department is thinking of ordering the awards and then directly mailing to the awardees. Any other ideas? Darlene, do you think you have an idea of some other departments? I know you have a lot of committees you're on. Is this something maybe you can help with?
Unfortunately, I haven't been in a group where we've ordered awards, but I have been in brainstorming sessions with people where they have thought about it. I think it's a great idea. I think sending out physical awards or paper awards that people could print out is also a good idea. Some virtual awards would be really cool too. We will continue to do research, and if we find some more information, we're happy to share that.
Great, thank you. We have another question from Debbie Gianni. Debbie, she's asking, what kind of Menti survey did we just use? Kimberly, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I assume you're asking about the last one. That one is so it's the bubbles, so it's a multiple choice. And then under multiple choice, there's different options that you can do, like a bar chart, you can do a pie chart, or you could do this one where it puts everyone's response into little bubbles. Another fun way is I could have clicked on the screen and it would have shown the percentage versus how many people selected each one. So that was also a cool one. So it's under the multiple choice.
Great, thank you.
Definitely recommend, sorry, just to add, I would definitely recommend to do a trial. Right now they're offering 2 weeks, and they also have a great chat support online. Message them and say, I'm with a university and would love to test this out, and then they'll give you the 2 weeks.
Great, thank you. And of course, if you guys have any further questions after this that come up that you can't think of now, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Susan asked, hi Susan, happy hour engagement, creative ideas for social hour. Do we have any good ones for you? Well, as Kimberly mentioned, and I'll let her kind of elaborate on this, some of the Kahoot and other ones you said. Kimberly, take it away.
Yeah, so Kahoot, we used at one of the academic event professionals conference that we went to, and that was a really fun interactive way that we got into teams with other attendees of the conference. But that's why I brought up Kahoot and did a little research on that. It's really fun. They have already templates in there to do trivia. You could just play with a group of team. So I think the Kahoot would be a lot of fun to do as a happy hour engagement. We're actually just going to throw a plug in there. We're going to host staff association social sessions in the next coming weeks where we're going to do a trivia lunch hour, which will be next Wednesday at noon. And we're going to send that out to all staff. But we're thinking about using Kahoot, and that way everyone's at home. They can answer individually, or if you want to get together with your other staff, you can FaceTime and work through the trivia questions on there. But that's good, a fun way to do that.
Great, thanks, Kimberly. We have another question from an anonymous attendee. What captioning service for inclusivity are being utilized across the virtual platforms that people have found useful? We've been doing a little bit of research with this. We have found that for instance, if you're recording a video and it's not a live service, then if you upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, they have closed captioning options. If you are doing live webinars or Zoom meetings, it's best to use a third party, which there are a bunch out there, to help you with those captioning services. So Creative Services, UCSD Creative Services has some more information about that. I believe they were using some for the virtual Triton days as well, so enrollment management. And then the Office for Disabilities is also looking into other options for that as well. So those are some outlets that you can look at.
And also Jill Townsend's online if you have anything else to add, Jill. I think, Adrian, you did a great job, but was there any questions, Jill, that you?
I was actually just going to mention a couple of vendors that we've used for live events, that I suspect would be willing and able to work in this type of environment as well. And one of those is AI Media, and the other is, oh, it's going to escape me right now.
eCaptions.
Thank you, Liz. That's it. eCaptions.
Great. Thank you very much. Susan.
I have one more actually. If you're doing something small online and need something quick and easy, Google Hangouts actually, there's a closed caption feature that you can just switch on, and it's actually pretty effective.
That's right. Thank you. Susan has another question. Are you aware of food delivery service, DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, etc., who can provide a specific meal which is charged to a master account, allowing participants throughout the US to access the order? Is this safe in today's environment, or is there any liability needing consideration? We personally have not looked into that. I think this would require a lot more research, but some of them are offering codes that you can send to give $10, $15, $20 off. You would just have to work out a business account with them, but I'm not quite sure. The logistics of that to me would seem scary. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Darlene. And for the liability, our risk management team, specifically Bryce Besser, he's available to review any contracts and some language. I know he's helped departments when they were going to do some yoga or some exercise at home. Not everybody has the same level, and you can't be there to help them, or if you're going to give them food, there are some guidelines. And so I know risk management is available to review any contracts.
Great, thank you. We have another question. This person would like to know if staff had done student surveys to gauge how they would like to virtually connect and/or what type of virtual events they would like to see.
I could take that. I know that the Center for Student Involvement they administered a survey within the last couple weeks through their Student Events Insider to gauge more information. And I believe Student Affairs is also working on some things. So hopefully that's a report that could come out. And I know different groups are meeting with students and getting information to help gauge what kind of virtual events they would like or things they'd like to see in the future or near future.
Great. And Kimberly, we worked with CAS. Didn't they send a student survey as well?
Yeah, in that example, they wanted to, so they were debating between if they should postpone their CAS graduation, which is a reception to honor these graduating students who are in the CAS program. And so they weren't sure, so they went and created a Google form to do a survey through that, and then they sent it out, and they found out that their students would actually prefer that the event be postponed versus going virtual. So it's just a quick, easy way to just reach out and say, hey, we'd like to honor your thoughts and see what they would prefer.
And Adrian, Tammy has her hand raised. I'm going to allow her to speak really quickly. Tammy, did you have something to share? Oops. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. I just wanted to share that the Career Services Center is also doing online or virtual coaching for students, resume reviews. If there were basically all of advancement is there for students if they just need to talk through the COVID-19 crisis. if they're looking for work, internships, and or coaching for resumes.
Great, thank you for sharing.
All right, we have another question here. We are looking to send items to students participating in our program for use in interactive workshops. Do you have any experience or tips with mailing supplies to a group of 30+ attendees? I wasn't sure if there were any way to streamline the shipping process in sending to multiple addresses, especially when trying to minimize time spent in the post office with COVID. Not sure if you have any experience on this, but just wanted to ask. I personally do not. I do know that the post office is needing those first class stamps, but anybody else have any insight on this?
Adrian, I don't mind maybe helping out. I think that this is Liz here, and I think one place that I would definitely look, and again, it very much depends on probably your budget and the items that you're looking to ship out, but maybe a merchandise vendor, a larger merchandise vendor that's approved for use with the university. They usually act also as fulfillment houses. So if you're ordering a number of different items, they can be helpful for you in terms of not only, you know, placing the items for order, but they could also package them up and mail them out for you as well.
Great, thank you. And Melissa, thank you for answering that. Melissa Borges just said she just did this and they used FedEx, and FedEx gives UCSD a great discount. So maybe that's something to look into.
And Adrian, before you move on to the next question, Kristen Berg from Center for Student Involvement is going to give an update on the student survey and assessment they recently did. So give me a second to... Kristen, are you on?
Hi there, can you hear me?
Hi, yep.
Hi everyone. Great to connect with you all today. So just a couple of highlights from our survey that we sent out to student organizations is that we were surprised that 92% said they preferred email for communication, and 32% said Facebook. And they could choose multiple options, obviously, because those two numbers don't equal up to 100%. And then some of the virtual events that they're wanting to host or hold or looking into were cooking demonstrations and competitions, Netflix watch parties, board game nights, workout classes, TikTok challenges, and paint nights. And then they're also looking just from our office for some webinars regarding to, you know, similar to what we're doing today about ideas for creative virtual programming and how to transition virtually, and training from our office. So a little bit about what they're looking for and how they want to be communicated with.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing, and hope you're doing well.
All right, well, it looks like that's all for the questions. Again, like I said earlier, please, if something comes up after this webinar, please feel free to reach out to us. And we will have this hopefully up on our site in the next couple days for you to reference, or if you hear of anyone that said they missed it, please direct them to our website. So thank you again. We appreciate all of you for joining us, and we hope you have a great day. Stay safe, everyone.